stand at the brink of a technological revolution. AI is transforming our workplaces and our lives at an unprecedented speed. And you know what? I might even have asked ChatGPT what it thinks about my speech. Turns out, many of us are actually incorporating AI into our work already. In fact, a recent report from McKinsey of last year actually said that 80% are already using AI at work, and 50% of those have fears about losing their jobs as a consequence. So AI, this is a subject we are all talking about, but to mixed feelings. Some of us are excited, curious, others are concerned or fearful. So this next conversation, it proves to be extremely timely, insightful, and thought-provoking. The question is, how will we work in the future? What is it going to look like? I'm going to now welcome to the stage a panel of experts, Roy, Gustavo, Dr. Jasmine, and the moderator, Philip. Let's give them a round of applause.
Yasemin Tahris, co-founder of FLOWIT. I invited Gustavo Tavor, Managing Director of Gustavo.
That's me.
Founder of Metaverse Academy, and Roy Tavor, Managing Director of Google Cloud Switzerland and Austria. So, what does your job have to do with AI, and how does the workplace of the future look like? Who wants to go first?
Yes, I'm a psychologist and co-founder of FLOWIT. And FLOWIT is an AI-based digital coach for people development and retention. And actually, I think our future of work will look very different. We will work with coaches like FLOWIT, who has an incredible wealth of knowledge right by your side, and they will guiding us through our work days. So I'm very excited about the future. Yeah.
Thank you. I have from one side a digital agency, and with this digital agency, we always have customers, and we have to make sure that the customers understand what we want to do and what we can do. That's why we usually also build an academy next to it. The academy is the Metaverse Academy, where we started with the Metaverse topic. Of course, now AI overtook the topic, and we are focusing a lot on AI teachings. We have courses. We have a whole course of 12 modules. So my daily work with AI is very, very intense. I have to teach about AI. I have to teach with AI, and it's very practical. So I'm involved with AI every single day. And still, it's changing so fast that I'm almost not being able to keep up with the changes.
Thank you.
Yes. Before I try to answer the question, let me ask the audience a question. Who speaks German?
Not everybody.
Sorry, zusammen. We all speak German, but we were asked to answer in English. So we'll do it in English, I guess.
Thank you.
Listen, I want to address something that was mentioned before a little bit, the fear. So when we interact with customers and people, right, there is a fear that, you know, oh, AI will take over and my job is going to be lost. So we actually commissioned a study together at Google, together with Economy Suisse. And the study was really interesting because we found out that only about 8% of jobs may be made redundant through AI. What was more interesting is that 66% of jobs will be helped with AI, and there's about 26% of jobs that will be completely unaffected. So I think we need to educate also the general public, the people when we at the workspace, where we talk about AI and how it will impact the future of work. The answer is it will definitely impact you. But I don't think there is the need to be fearful, but we need to educate and have the conversation about creating awareness about how can AI really help people engage within the firm, but also increase customer experience and so forth.
So, is the fear of AI-driven job loss overblown, or are we underestimating the scale of disruption?
Yeah, I actually see both sides. There are risks, but I see also chances. So it's maybe a mix between these two worlds. Like, there are people who are seeing just the chances, and there are people who are seeing just the risks. And I think both of these sides is very unhealthy. We have to balance it a little bit. But I think fear is never the right response to make a better future. I think you have to understand AI and try to build it and try to use it in the right way. But for example, when it comes to human emotions, I'm a little bit scared about it. Because I think we always have to ask ourselves, in what kind of future do we want to live? And for example, when I think pilots, they rarely to land their planes by themselves, and they have to relearn the skill to learn to land the plane again in the simulator. And I'm a little bit scared of learning my own emotions again in a simulator. So I think it's always like the question, what do we do with AI in a human-centered way? And then the chances are big. Even to create a more human-centered world in the future, I think.
What do we do with AI in a human-centered world? Gustavo, emotions, fear, chance,
yes.
how do we balance it all?
Yeah, I strongly believe that AI will be able to mimic our emotions very well, probably better than we can. And by knowing so much about ourselves, I think it's really going to be challenging for us to separate what is AI, what is artificial, and what is human. So I think we're going to come into a really special place there. And also, I think if you look way into the future, when agents come, which is like 2025, it's going to change a lot also in the workplace. Because if you can then automate job profiles, you can scale them. I mean, if you are a business owner, you don't need people to do certain jobs anymore. So you're going to like distill the company into single, really talented people that have domain knowledge, and all the rest can be automated or outsourced to AIs and multiplied 1,000 times, 2,000 times, depending how much energy you have. So I think it's going to be a very different future in the next couple of years.
You will distill the workforce. We're back to your studies. How will this look like?
So I want to try and give you an example, because we have the privilege at Google Cloud to work with customers on a daily basis, right? So one of our customers that has started to use AI to advise their customers better and more efficient is Hotelplan. Hotelplan is one of the largest travel agency in Switzerland. I'm a customer of Hotelplan. I love it, so try it out. But one of the challenges of travel agents are platforms like Expedia and Booking, who do not provide advice, right? So we built an agent for all the advisors at Hotelplan to be able to provide faster, more accurate advice to travelers. And we just launched it, and the feedback has been excellent. And nobody advising travelers has been laid off. The ambition was not for Hotelplan to lay people off. The ambition was to increase and make the advice better. And those are the ways we see AI interacting with a human. And we always say, you know, there's a human in the loop. And I like Hotelplan very much because really it's about joy and having fun. And travels really profit from the advisor and the agent making the experience much more joyful.
So what I heard AI helps Hotelplan, but this only affects desk workers. What about the frontline workers?
Yeah, I think in frontline jobs, you can't do these automation things very quick. There are always challenges because it's a hands-on work. Yeah, you can have their assistants as well with a wealth of knowledge who guides them through their day, like the doctors with all the receipts or the diagnosis part. But on the other hand, a lot of things you can't do with AI at the moment. I don't say in the future maybe it's possible. So I think we have to help these companies to rethink their skills because they are thinking very industrialized. They are still in a very industrialized bubble. And we have to build up new skills to go into a future where these non-desktop workers are even more important for us because they can't work in the same way with AI as desktop worker can do it. But on the other hand, they are still in this industrialized bubble. And there is a lot of cultural change that we have to work on in the next years.
So I saw you laugh, Gustavo, while mentioning frontline workers won't be affected. What do you think about it?
I honestly don't think so. I think they're going to be affected very much so. I don't know if you heard Grok from X, from Elon, XAI. He already is really good at reading images of X-rays, probably better than a doctor.
That is cool, yeah.
That's happening now, so and this is going to be better and better every time. And I'm going to bring now the example with the excavator, because I think for me that's an image that it's easy to understand. If you imagine a world where we only have shovels, everybody's digging holes, doing street, building houses only with shovels. If you are the only one with an excavator and you know how to operate it, you have a big advantage. So, and this is going to happen in every industry, in every job, on every level. As soon as you start using AI as your tool that augments you for the next couple of years, you're going to have a big advantage against someone that doesn't do it. And it doesn't really matter if you're in the front line, if you're in back office, if you're whatever you're doing. It doesn't really matter.
So no job is safe. The excavators are coming.
But I want to bring in a little bit a different perspective. If we look at Switzerland, we know that over the next 10 years, we are short 200, 300,000 people in the workforce. And you see it when you're in the hospital. We don't have enough nurses. We don't have enough doctors. We don't have enough people working at the restaurant. So what the opportunity with AI is really to, also for frontline workers, is to be, and you mentioned that with the radiology, with the imaging, make professionals, even frontline workers, more efficient. And we need this efficiency because we're simply lacking the workforce to cover all the need that we will have in a Switzerland, which is, from a population point of view, constantly growing. So I'm really not, if you look at the unemployment rate in Switzerland today is basically non-existent. It's 2.3, 2.4%. So everybody in Switzerland who wants to work can find a job. To the contrary, companies have a hard time finding people because the market is so saturated. So I think AI can help us, really technologically speaking, to fill some of the demand which is here, but we are lacking the resources from a human capital perspective.
So AI will help the employers.
I think
but
so.
Only those who can drive an excavator? What about all the people who don't know how to use AI? Who don't want to know how to use AI?
Maybe I want to answer quickly. You don't need to use AI. AI will be built in any application. It will be seamless in working with it. Think about the chatbot. You don't need to know how the chatbot works. You're just going to have a conversation with that chatbot, and that chatbot is starting to help you, whatever your job is, in your daily jobs. Nobody has to become an AI expert to use the application. But we need to educate, and here that's why I look into Gustavo's area.
I saw you shaking your head.
No, I'm on the same side. Yeah, I think we don't have to learn how to use AI. AI is just here and will leading us through our daily work. So it's not maybe you have to be an expert in a subject to ask the right questions and to work with AI. And I think maybe AI and humans are limited when they're working alone, but together they can be very powerful in a combination with expertise, knowledge, and the knowledge and expertise is more and more important in the future, I think.
There's a platform, I think it's called Payman, where you can apply as a human and then you register and then you get jobs that are coming from agents. So maybe it's turning around the way how we're going to work. We're going to be working for AI and not AI working for us. Imagine, for example, Uber Eats. I don't know. Maybe it's already an AI. Who knows? Who knows who's working there? I just know the people driving around, delivering stuff. But everything else is an application. So it could be one server or a supercomputer, an AI behind it. There's no need for any humans there. So maybe this is going to change, thinking about startups.
So this sounds a little bit like a supercomputer centralized somewhere and it's using all the humans to deliver food?
That's where we're moving into next year.
Maybe I want to also add to what you just said, because what we see often when firms, also startups, we work with many startups in Switzerland, come to us and they want to know, how can I use AI? Very often you forget that the AI, if you want to make it really powerful, relies on your data. And sometimes this is forgotten, because if you do not build a very solid foundation in your data infrastructure, and I know there's lots of startups here, so take your time to really build a solid data foundation, because if that is not built properly, then the AI is useless. Nothing will happen with the AI, and we see this time and time again with our customers.
And in addition, be aware of the data that you are using, because the data can be wrong as well, or is stereotyped, or you just have data from one kind. Yeah, you just have to be careful which data are you using to train your AI to have good results. I think that's a very, very important point as well.
And in the professional world, just a tip, you should not use publicly available infrastructure. Okay, Samsung did that in the beginning. Maybe you remember that. Some employees of Samsung used ChatGPT and suddenly their patents were in the open. So if you want to do that, come talk to us. We'll help you set up an infrastructure that is safe and that is only yours. That's a good point.
So you said AI will silently arrive. You don't have a choice, it will just arrive and everybody will be able to use it. How can a company ensure that AI is inclusive for all age groups? Is it just a given?
I mean, look at my kids. I need to take AI away from them. Look, I think the younger generation, that's no problem. I think the older generation, that is something that, when I look at my parents, that will take awareness, and, sometimes I need to help my mom. But yes, it's a learning, it's a new technology, and people, like the internet. In the beginning, nobody knew how to, my grandmother didn't know how to use the internet. And, she turned 100 before she died this year. At the end, she used the internet. So we need to educate, we need to inform, we need to create the awareness. But I don't think especially with the younger generation, there's no problem.
Is it fair for the older generation?
I have this idea. It could be very fair. I have the strong belief that AI is really helpful if you have domain knowledge in some kind of topic, domain, whatever. Because there you can get the stuff out. I mean, AI, if you just ask them stupid questions, you're going to get really stupid answers. And if you just don't really know what you're talking about or what you're trying to get out, you will not get good results. So that's something that's, I think, very important. And older people have experience. They know much deeper understanding about certain topics. So they are going to be able to create much more better quality in results with AI. It doesn't matter in what area. But then but those people have more trouble using the AI, getting to understand how to use it, or more like having this normal behavior towards AI. And I think that's where an ideal team would be a younger person who understands much more the technology, maybe more understanding about coding and this type of things, together with an older person that's an expert in a domain. I think those are the kind of super teams that you can build in a startup, where you have an experienced person, maybe don't even need to work. It could be just like someone that helps you, rents you the knowledge, and the younger generation just builds it. So I think there's really also a very big shift that's going to happen there.
So your vision of the future is super teams with older knowledge and new, younger efficiency combined together, and the excavator will be much faster than the old shovels.
Exactly.
Did I get this right?
Excavator.
Okay. I see we're out of time for the round. Are there any questions which should pop up, maybe? No questions from the audience?
Oh, there's a question. Right there. I've good eyes.
Can you shout a little bit louder? I'm sorry. How has AI changed your workplace?
Yeah.
How has AI changed your workplace?
I use AI on a daily basis. It's like a digital coach that is always beside me for a lot of different things. I mean, there is a wealth of knowledge who is always beside me. I can ask AI the right questions and get good answers, fundamental answers. But again, I think it's important to ask the right questions, to have this expertise, to know how to use AI in the right direction. But AI is changing a lot. I mean, we are building a digital coach for people retention and people development. I'm a psychologist, and I think maybe there will be another form of psychologist in the future, because AI assistant will do a lot of my work that I have today. Yeah, but I'm still very exciting, because I think the combination is very interesting.
Yes, for me it changed a lot. Many things changed. For once, I created an agiradio.com. It's an automated AI radio with AI music, AI news every hour, AI talks with Notebook LM in one weekend on a Sunday morning. So I was able to do this. It was never possible for me to do this before. I was able to create ideas that I had in my mind forever, like a finder for the files that works like a mind map. I could do it in 1 hour with AI. So all these kind of things, I think it's changing. It made me probably 100 times more efficient and better in quality. And at the moment, I'm at the stage where this new model from OpenAI, the O1 preview, I don't even know how to test it, because it's much smarter than me in everything. So I don't know if it's good or not, because all the questions it answers are correct, and the difficult questions I don't know. So yeah, I think it changed a lot my workspace.
Yeah, I love the question, because one thing which we did not specify, there's a big difference between AI and Gen AI. Whereas AI has been around for like 20 years plus, and Gen AI is really what is now causing the public to be super enthusiastic about what can this new technology bring. I want to give you an example. Leading cloud, typically you think just about infrastructure, which is a little boring and dry and very IT. But what AI brought to the table was really to have business conversations. So I want to give you an example of Coop. Who knows Coop? It's a retailer. Okay.
Been there.
So we are all about solving real problems. So one of the problems Coop had was fresh food forecasting. Okay? Whether the pack of Barilla stays in the shelf for another week or two, not so relevant. But when you have tomatoes and salad and avocado, that is a real problem, because if you have too much, at the end of the day, you have to throw it away. And if you have too little, it's not good, because you're going to go to Migros. Now, for me, it doesn't matter. Migros is also a big customer. But for Coop, it's not good, right? So we help them with AI to transform the way they forecasting demand for fresh food. And I'm very proud, together with Coop, we increased the accuracy of fresh food forecasting by 46%. So this is how it's changing my life, because before it was very much on the infrastructure, and now we're getting to really talk about business outcomes and impact.
Thank you. Other very interesting question. Is there a short answer possible? As a startup owner, I don't know where to begin. Where do I start my custom AI? Who wants?
Yes.
I would say you're perfect for it, right? Where do I start?
If you're asking this question, maybe you take a course about AI and what it is and what it's capable of. I don't know if having a own custom AI is the right tool. It depends what you want to do. It is possible. I mean, you can download it, open source it, have your own computers, run it on your own servers. That's all possible, and it's private if that's the need that you need. But if I would be a startup today, I would probably start by thinking, okay, each task, which task can I do with AI, which ones can I not do with AI? Don't focus on the ones you can't do, focus on the one that you can do, and then you'll be much, much faster and much more efficient. And the same I would do for people. Before hiring someone, I would go, hey, do I need this person or can I do it with AI? And then I think you're going to be growing much more efficient and much faster.
Thank you. So one last question. Would you trust a robot to babysit your children? We have seen the little robot running around giving drinks to everybody. Would you trust your children with a robot?
Not now.
Not
Not now, because I'm working with AI. And I see, I work with AI every day. AI can be wrong. Sometimes it's not the human, it's just a different way to think. I have 2 little children, 5 and 7 years old, and I know there are different opinions, but for me, not now, no. May ask me in 5 years again, maybe.
Not now. Gustavo, yes or no?
Well, I would trust a babysitter that has AI, augmented AI, more than one that doesn't have it. That's my way of looking at it.
So not to robot only, but to augmented babysitter.
We're at the moment, we're at the stage where we're humans together with the AI, we're still better than AI by itself. This probably will change, like with chess, with the Google Deep Blue.
Roy?
But yes.
Yeah.
Would you?
So I have 3 children, and the answer is immediately. So bring him or her, you know, absolutely. Look, we all know convenience trumps everything else. So the first company that brings in a robot that can really actually do it, it will have immediate adoption, because for all of you who have children, it's really difficult to find a babysitter. And if that robot works half, you know, as like a 13-year-old teenager, I think the adoption will be very high.
Thank you very much. So that's the end of our panel. Thank you very much for listening. We will do one thing that AI cannot do. While you are clapping, we will make a selfie from us off the stage. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll be around.
Thank you.
Thank you.